Sydney City coming off a terrific win with just 12 men against the West Tigers, and they will welcome back Richie Barnett, which causes a change around. What a bad luxury is it to have Matt Singh pushed out to the wing with Barnett coming back, and they will have Shane Rigon starting, which will force Luke Ricketson back to the bench. The danger in the forwards being Brian Fletcher, the back rower. The big news for the Warriors is, after saying please come back, they get to welcome back Stacey Jones in the number 7, which will certainly help captain John Simon. And he has gone to a forward lineup that I think is the best balance. I possibly might have liked to have seen Tuamavavi in there in the defensive role to start, but he's showing an aggressive nature, Mark Graham, to back all those back rowers in Swan, Deeks, Lauatiti to get behind Joe Vagana, Robert Mears and Terry Hermanson. Just some final checks from touch judges and everybody, including the interchange. And that will be the key, no doubt, for the Warriors. Siu on that rotation of the big three from last year. Hermanson, Joe Vagana, and then Ricketson, the worker to come, with the impact players of Solomona and Craig Wing for Sydney City. But a little bit inexperienced Tony Archer, just his second NRL game, gets everybody underway. And way down deep for a fumble for Simon to push it back to Hermanson, who fights just to get away from the 10 and looks up screaming at the referee for the quick play of the ball. Joe Vagana to get alongside his bookend teammate.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see is Big Joe following up, Terry, because that's really going to make the yardage. And we all know that Stacey and John, they're going to need lots of room out there today to take on this Sydney City side. But everybody is pretty anxious out there from the Warriors, I'd say, to get it and just get a hold of that ball in the first sort of 3 or 4 minutes, just to settle the nerves down.
Early penalty. Goes searching for a football. Finally it gets back out there for Miles just to hand it off. And again for Hermanson to wrestle with them short of the 50. Joe Vagana getting nice and wide on the fringe. And he had support in Beverly. Hasn't had much of that in recent weeks as they need to get with each other. Awkward ball up early, breakdown in communications. There's going to be a lot of pressure in that area. A lot of pressure on Jones as everybody looks to him. Deeth sticks his hand up, says give me some work.
Yeah, I think you'll find Stacey too won't get involved too much. He'll just work his way into the game. He's been out for a while. The fitness, he'll do it tough for a little bit, and his timing's certainly going to be out. But he is a genius, and that's what they need out there.
Another respective timing for Jones is going to be his kicking plan against Sydney City.
But above all, what Stacey brings to this football side is attacking options on the other side of the ruck, the right-hand side, which has been missing for the last 7 weeks.
Tony Archer is going to go tit for tat. Remind both sides to stay apart to keep this game open. And Sydney City through Fittler to go down nice and deep on a pretty important set of 6. Former Rooster sideline, former Wigan, you name it. Quite a number of clubs, but a great test man for New Zealand. Tony Iro, your old joint, Sydney City. How do they find a win today?
Well, just doing what they're doing now. Keep control of the ball. It was a pretty good start from the Warriors, and you know, a lot's expected of Stacey Jones. I'm sure the Roosters are going to be putting plenty of pressure on him today. And speaking to the management of Sydney City today, they're expecting to give Stacey a pretty hard workout. So I think he's up for a tough day.
Hard work out here and a good test for Richie Barnett with that left knee heavily strapped. Lamb, big danger man to the biggest danger man of all, Fittler. Good ball and all tackle on him. Good shot on him from Logan Swan. Cops a backhander. And now they allow a pass around the back in an early try. I think it was Hegarty who got out of dummy half, and they'll check it upstairs. And a pass around the back here for Minicello. Does he get it down clean? Loses it. Lost the ball. What a let-off. Well, we're sure about it, but somebody wants to have another look at it. Looked as if it might have been punched out by, I think, Beverly, who got there to save it.
No, I think the defender Beverly certainly got across there and just able to apply enough pressure to put that ball to the ground. He played the ball.
Jones. Lauatiti trying to break the first tackle of Fitzgibbon. Jones to the line, and behind it, Jones to the other side, couldn't keep his feet to chase his own kick.
Well, I tell you what, Stacey Jones is playing with a lot of confidence out there. For someone who's come in from a broken arm as bad as he has, the little fella's having a real dig and certainly putting some spark into the attack. It's great to see.
the attacking game becomes just a lot more questionable for a defensive line. It's not predictable. You've got two on either side of the ruck, and clearly are pushing the tackle there.
There was, just as he went through the line, a couple of hands, a little bit of an assist. Fittler will know the warning signs are there. Both sides somewhat still needing to settle. Possibly more so Sydney City. Haggerty grabbed a hat-trick against the West Tigers. Slow play of the ball. He struggles, goes back on the deck. Fletcher got rid of the first two. Quick play of the ball, never really got to his feet, allowed to continue. Now Lamb. Lamb looking for Solomona. Had a terrific season so far for Sydney City. And he sets it up just outside the 10 for Lamb. Lamb with a bit of space now to go inside for Fittler to step and offload. Great handling from Anthony Minicello. Still on the blind side. Maybe back on the inside. Fitzgibbon will get there. Good, clever short play. They'll go upstairs again. Not much room to move in, but somehow they managed to come up with it.
Yeah, they certainly are hitting that blind side, the short side, because they know the defence is not moving up. And when the defence doesn't move up, there's always going to be holes.
Call is to check the grounding and the possibility of a forward pass, says the referee, back on the inside. Everything looks okay.
Yeah, it certainly looks okay from here. And as long as that ball's gone down, which I'd say it has, that looks like a certain try.
Well, upstairs they went to a ref's call. One wonders why they had to go to a ref's call on that. Thought the video evidence was enough to suggest there wasn't a problem. Now, here's some real trouble for Sydney City. They've still got problems with Richie Barnett trying to run out a corked thigh. He was added as a late change into the starting lineup, which forced Ellsgood out of the squad. Now Shannon Haggerty in real trouble, so both centres gone.
And he'll be a big loss for a football side, averaging one try a match. Offers him huge amount of attacking ability, strike power out in the centres.
Coming straight at him on the angle from the target he's looking for, the posts. Strikes it pretty well from out on the sideline, and that breeze will just push it. But finally that scoreboard ticks over for somebody. Sydney City 4-0. And this one falls awkwardly for Adrian Lamb to play at, then sit up for Ricketson. So it's a terrific start for the Warriors as they drive them back just 5 metres out from their own line.
And that's what they want. They need a big play. They need a big hit. They need to try and upset the ball. And there we go. Big Joe going in as well. The boys are out there. They know they need to fire up. And look at that. Doctor that. He knows how to tackle.
Terrific defences. They really storm in for a big set of 6. Fitzgibbon with an important play, just a suggestion that Solomona may have fumbled or lost that when he got up to play it. Fletcher, he now pushes it back for Benetti, and Benetti back for Solomona. It is Deuce again with another one. Massive on the much bigger man. Fittler under pressure to kick, offloads, and Phillips is there to support. Good play from him, but he drills it straight to Beverley. And Beverley confidently floats it way out for Nigel Wagner. Terrific passage for the Warriors on attack already, and they're in Sydney territory.
And that all comes from that great defence. There's a lot of confidence out there now. And just look at that from Jason Deeth, the second one. He's certainly showing the way. Now the boys are in great field position. Good defence.
And it's the sort of play you want out of a football side. Says so much about how they respond to attacking plays. Sydney City coming up with 4 points. They need to respond, and they're doing it in the best possible way.
Lauatini one-on-one, the big man against Phillips. Forget about stopping him. What a run. What a setup for Lauatini. Now they're still going to check something else. They're going to check the final pass to Lauatini. Down to Jason Deeth's defence.
And also that little man there, Stacey Jones. What a great pass, and that was no way forward. Look at Ellie, one-on-one, you can't stop him. Puts it straight down, and he loves it.
Yes, I do.
So we've got a game that's stalled. We've got one team back. The try is finally announced. The Roosters have to come back 10 or 15 metres. I guess you might want to call it the modern game, but we are going to some extremes to check everything in our game. 4 apiece, the Warriors and the Roosters. Right in front for Simon. And they will grab the lead. Just possibly had the little bit extra slice of play. Better of it so far at 6-4. Who I think would have been shocked by the intensity in the defensive play that led up to that.
Oh, they've responded and responded in the best way. But the guy who's perhaps most pleased at the moment has got to be Coach Mark Graham. That the players that he's shown a lot of confidence to put them out there in the starting lineup have all featured strongly. Wagner, Ali, Stacey's shown his way around the football park. They're all doing it good.
Simon looking down deep to get away from Phillips, possibly for a 40-20. If it bounces his way, look out. Phillips had a long time to go over. I think he backed on himself, bouncing back towards him. Gambled and lost as the Warriors come back with a feed.
Yeah, you certainly can't gamble on a ball that can go either way. Great stuff from John Simon. Just have a look at Sydney City. They're just waiting for it. It's a great kick. Bounces straight over.
Now, through Simon, the door's open again for Joe Wagner to be out amongst the back line. You don't want to line up against him at 5'8". Good quick play of the ball. And a chance for Beetham to improve things to just a metre or so away. The Roosters under siege once again. Mears looking both sides, goes to Simon. Simon, Logan Swan! I'll tell you what, it's early days, very early days, but there's a lot to like about how they've played the last 10 or 15 minutes. Sends you back to their best when they finished with a massive surge late last season.
Yeah, early days, all right, but I tell you what, a lot of weight has gone off these players' shoulders now. That little man, Stacey Jones, is having a perler. Big Joe is going forward, and that's the difference. Him and the Rock, they're setting it all up. And when you've got guys like that setting it up close to the line, they're very dangerous. Just watch this pass. Logan Swan, well, he ran on the angle. Beautiful stuff.
Warm afternoon, all of a sudden getting a lot warmer for the Roosters as Simon posts another two for just that little bit of extra comfort to spark up the faithful at 12-4. Logan Swan with another Warriors try. 2-try answer now to the opener from the Roosters as Phillips drives down to Simon, who laid it all on with a brilliant 40-20. Hermanson goes down. Ball's lost. Was it lost forward? Now, there was concern about the tackle from some of the Warriors players. And Hermanson is in real trouble.
Yeah, it's not often you see this guy go down. He runs so hard and straight. It was a shoulder charge. I don't know about an elbow. It was hard to see from that shot. Let's have a look on this one.
Beverley went over questioning it. Now, did that hit him underneath the chin? Not sure from that angle.
And, you know, it's amazing how in defence, everybody thinks on attack when you score tries can lift the side, but in defence, you know, big shots and big tackles can really give a side a lot of confidence.
And Tuamavavi's defence is all important now, with Fittler to try and put the foot down, just nearly 10 away. They switch back immediately to Fletcher. And Fletcher stands for quite a while before finished off by Siu. And he gets back slammed, and this will be an easy shot at 2 from alongside the post. Fletcher thought about it, just through the dummy now as it'll go back for the shot at goal.
Well, I'm not sure. He took a bit of a dive there. He was looking for something. The referee gave it to him, but very lucky.
And just unsuccessful with his attempt from right on the sideline. Not the best for your concentration, but not a problem from Fitzgibbon from alongside the posts. They get within 6. Warriors with a bit of a breeze at their backs in this first 40. And they really have started to lift the last 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, I'm sure Brad Fuller's a little bit concerned, I suppose, with the injuries that they've suffered. But he'd be also concerned that, you know, his forwards aren't really getting in there and rolling up their sleeves. The Warriors forwards are taking over. And out wide is where they can strike now with the injuries to Sydney City. They are intimidated, the Roosters.
Well, nearly every mistake that's been made at either end has resulted in points being posted. Here's Matt Singh of all people.
And it's also an interesting statistic about this football side, Sydney City, that nearly 50% of their errors are in that end of the football field.
Nearly everybody we keep on losing is a centre. Jones, nowhere for him to go. 25 away. Faifili. 7 minutes in the opposition half for the Warriors, and they're about to add to it. A little bit flat in support of each other out wide still for Nigel Buggenar to go down nearly 10 away. Logan Swan already grabbed one try. Wrestles, frees his hands, pops it back. Odin Ryan. Now they're inside the 10 for Simon and Jones possibly to take over as Jones goes nice and wide. Deeth was a decoy. Back on the inside. Jones still alive with it. Out wide for Philly. Can't get there. Great little kick from Jones. Couldn't get there in time. But another threat.
Just check and put that dead there, Greeny.
But just, look at the options that Stacey's got, ball in hand. And Brad Fittler twice now has tried to take Stacey out.
Okay.
That one looked a little bit high too, so maybe you had to look at that one again.
Well, I think, well, the call was right that he touched the ball short of the line when he came into contact with it. So it'll go back for the scrum. And they'll try and fly in again here to cause even more intimidation in defence. Good quick play of the ball from Singh for Fittler. Puts it down. Maybe this time. First Singh, now the best player in the Roosters lineup, fumbles. Warriors have got to make it count. Tilmavavi. They need Jones back out there. All those handling errors have got to mean points. Joe Wagner fires right up. He's taking a toll. Mears looking for somebody to get off him. Tilmavavi gets there. Simon rushes over. Simon with Beverly. Inside is Logan Swan. Swan will go back to Simon. Simon, awkward ball away from Beethan and Lauatini fumbles. Just needed to make sure of the possession. But he tried to pick it up on the run.
Yeah, once again, just a little bit lost on attack there. That's where they needed Stacey. Stacey always stands nice and deep too and sets things up. They're just a little bit shallow and we're looking for someone to take over. There was no one out there.
But the facet of the game that's perhaps far superior than Sydney City at the moment has to be their offloads. They've been given all sorts of space to be able to find opportunities.
Tony, it's getting down towards the last 12 minutes of this first 40 as Fittler looks to get away from this danger zone, but too many opportunities though as a worry for the Warriors. They've had a chance to put the Sydney Roosters in a real hole. I'll come back to you as Odin Ryan gets away. He'll get up quickly here too as now that's got to be into the bin possibly. Did he get involved purposely in the play of the ball to slow this down as the Warriors look to get on with it?
Well, it was a nice quick play of the ball from Odin Ryan. There he goes. Well, I would say that's pretty marginal. But being the bloke that I am, I think he may just deserve to go in the bin just for a little while.
Well, they come back out, and Tony, this is yet another chance.
It is, and we've already seen the benefit of having options on both sides of the ruck. It's been a very cautious start from the Roosters. It's amazing. Sides that come here and try and alter their game plan to suit the Warriors. They would have thought they could play this mob for 60 minutes and then get on top of them. Sometimes that can backfire on you.
It's just showing for a moment, though. Jones up the tunnel, requiring stitches to a head wound. He's offside, Fletcher. It's got to be a penalty. Now, where's the advantage in all of this? If there's no points on the end of it, they had 2 points right in front of the post, which was turned down by the referee. Surely they must score on the end of this. Simon. Harvey. Spun in the tackle of Barnett. One more tackle. Simon. Bombing away. Back for Odin Ryan. Taken. Now, you asked me about the advantage.
There was none.
It's something to like about the game of rugby. On the end of that, There would have been now it comes. Now Craig Wing, remarkably, has gone back out, well away from the spot to get things underway. And now they will get the chance at 2 that they should have got. Simon sends it straight down the middle, and they go back with that comfort. 8 points again. Down deep for Simon. And Joe Wagner, who has found something of his old form in this first half. Good defence on him this time from Ricketson and also Fletcher.
It's good to see Joe taking the ball up and getting back some of that old form. He's had 3 or 4 weeks where he's been pretty ordinary, and he admits it himself. So he's going out there and improving a point. And, you know, when he's firing, it just helps the team so much.
Beetham ducking, trying to get clear. Mears gets away from Plenty, who just drop off, spins into tackle. They're all important metres as he sets it up for Simon. Already found a 40-20 once. This time, kicks it outside the 40. And Phillips rushes over. He'll go back, thinking about Minicello. Chased across, just put down by Beetham.
And Graham, you know, we're going to that most important time as we see Stacey there looking forward to getting back on. But, you know, 7 or 8 minutes out from half-time is a very, very important time in the game. Let's hope that the Warriors don't fold like they have done in the last couple of weeks.
Reuben now. Had a lot on their mind. Most definitely the time in the opposition half from the Warriors. Probably should have some more points on the board. Fittler can turn this game whenever he tends to like. Just like this for Barnett as they went wide. Now even wider. Wing. Back up the middle. And they'll finish up 5 metres away. They haven't had a chance like this for a long time. Barnett hobbled into dummy half. Lamb kicking for Fittler. Beverly is there. And he lost it, did he?
He's still trying to catch it, so he's still playing at the ball. Get out of it, Brad.
Saying that he was alive still in the field of play to be dragged back by Fittler.
Yeah, nice little kick there. Brad Fittler running up. Let's have a look. He looks to lose it, but he still is fighting for it. That's a
photo finish as well. Now, is he finished there? He's finished there. Well, I think he's nearly finished.
He's a special talent, though, Brad Fittler. One who can come in and out of the game, and noticeable how different the game changes when he does get involved.
Wing. Some mistakes from him after coming from the bench. Back-to-back sets of 6 for the Roosters. Reuben just ploughs straight ahead. Now they've got some space to go wide. Hood. Right in front of the post. 10 out. Fletcher one side. Lamb and Fittler the other. Benetti left alone to go to Fletcher over the top. Odin Ryan had it, lost it. It goes both ways.
Double knock-ons. First off the Roosters.
Now he said it was first touch by the Roosters, which will be a Warriors feed. Over the top.
Hang on, I read it the other way.
Well, I would have thought the first one was promoted forward by Odin Ryan. It was the first set of hands it went through. As Jones gets back out there.
And it is a real... Oh.
Now here's the fumble again. Now
Play on, went back. Play on.
both sides making mistakes at their own ends. And the Roosters get one more chance down towards the last 5. Reuben gets the call, and again he heads them up. Finished off by Tuamavavi. Lamb. Fletcher on the fringe. Beautifully worked for Ricketson. They come off their line now to wrap up Barnett. Inches away. Lamb looking inside. Fletcher. Benetti. Benetti with a dummy, and Benetti will finish up in front of the posts again. Fittler back across the ruck. Quickly, Fittler with a step, bouncing out of tackles, pushing it back. Hood. Hood with a step and support. Reuben! No doubt about the support from Reuben. He's earned it in the last couple of sets.
Yeah, put that one down to Bradley Fittler. He kept the ball alive there, and I suppose great defence, but when you get an attack like that from all sorts, very tough.
Go back to that Wagner fumble 5 metres off the line to put him in the position where they've now had to scramble. But then you've got a Sydney City attacking game. When Fittler gets involved, it's changing angles. It's coming to you from both sides of the ruck here, and Reuben just taking it to the line.
Phillips. Great backup to Fitzgibbon. And he makes no mistake. So the Warriors looking back over their shoulder at 14-12. Great defence from them. Manages to keep the scoreline within reach now with that try. Number of times they just kept the Warriors away from what would have been a sizable lead. Ricketson bounced, really crunched in the tackle of Swan and Tuamavavi.
Yeah, this defence is very strong of the Warriors. They know they're trying to get in a big hit, upset that ball again, but it's amazing both sides have been guilty of it. In their own red zone, just the ball security hasn't been there, and I'm sure both coaches will touch on it because it's what has let themselves down.
Barnett. Awkward one for Fletcher. Well half volleyed by him. Still time for somebody to add something inside the last two. Ricketson. No real depth to the attack when they set themselves for that. Fittler. And he will go to the air to test out Odenryan out on the wing. Odenryan with a fumble! Phillips is there to the in goal. Will it stay for him? Yes! Amazing finish to this first 40. The kick from Fittler. And all of a sudden they've come back to life.
I want to check those blokes on side from the kick.
Fittler decided to go wide to Odenryan, who just absolutely made a mess of it. And the grounding here first to check, no doubt about that.
Yeah, great kick there from Brady Fittler. You know, it's something that a lot of teams have been doing. Is he onside? Out wide, he certainly is. And what a kick. A lot of teams have been doing it, and the Warriors, they have been struggling with those high balls. Well, there's no excuse for that, Lee. You've got plenty of time. You had the support behind you. Wow.
What a storming finish. And Fittler, as quick as you please, has just laid on 2 tries to turn it all around.
And what a well-placed kick. It's high enough to allow us support players to get in there, put pressure on Odenryan, coming up with the worst fumble you would want out of your wingman so close to the line. Fittler's influence in this game the last 10-15 minutes outstanding.
And you know, you don't ask much from your wingers, do you? You know, they're finishers, and you know, they're not involved in the play a lot, but when they're involved in the play, it's got to be quality work, and they've got to make sure that everything they do is right, because the time and play for them is very minimal.
Again, a long, long wait over the call of this one. And finally it comes, and 2 tries in 4 minutes. And just as the Roosters were stunned by the Warriors, back they come back. And John Simon knows they'll be into a bit of a breeze, which Fittler will try and use to set it up for 2 points in the second half.
And we talked about that 10-minute mark before half-time. It's something, I mean, they've been working on a lot of things, and I suppose I feel a little bit sorry for them because they have been really working on a hell of a lot of things all week. But they've certainly got a problem 10 minutes out. You can't go into the half on a negative.
Game is going to be anybody's. Matter of cutting down the handling mistakes. Whoever wants to eradicate that in the second 40. Terrific chase to grab the try. And now from way out wide, Phillips off the post. How about that for an important 2? What a surge from the Roosters, 18-14. Tony Archer to find out both skippers. 40 minutes away. Either the Warriors or the Roosters up for grabs. Ricketson. Both sides would be a little bit disappointed with their play in the first 40. Most especially the Warriors, who had enough opportunities to have a sizable lead. They did that with the breeze at their backs, although that has dropped somewhat. As Fitzgibbon brings it away, but a good start for the Roosters to this second half. Fittler for Fletcher. Living on that fringe. And a real handful. Adrian Lamb. Kicking down, looking for the sideline. And to the corner area to send Beverley across. And Beverley taken by wing Barnett. And also Ricketson down there on the chase.
And look for Sydney City to really use this kicking game and have a good kick and chase. They're already showing that because they know that the big Warriors forwards, they can pin them down and just hold them down and slow everything down. They've got the game won. They don't have to play catch-up football, Sydney City. And watch for Freddie Fittler, he'll just hang around for the first 10, 15 minutes and then he'll inject himself after 20 minutes.
Another handling mistake, and Fittler picks it up from Hermanson. He was knocked out in that first half. But after grabbing the final try before half-time, ideal chance to grab one straight after the break. Only a dozen metres away. Simple fumble as he tried to take on the line. Some big names have done that today. Lomme will play it right on the 10. Benetti cuts out Fletcher, goes to Ricketson. Ricketson back to the midfield, nobody there now. Lamb quickly back for Phillips. Showed it, ducked under the tackle of Hermanson. Benetti rushing with Lamb and Fittler. Lamb to the line, slipping. Taken, still a couple of tackles remain. Fittler rushing. Fittler with a great ball up for Phillips, who loses it. Hang on a minute, I'll get it. It's been that sort of a day. Who wants to hang on?
Yeah, well, the heat out there has obviously got a lot of perspiration on the jumpers and everything, but it doesn't matter. You can't have excuses like that. They've got to concentrate on ball security, especially the Warriors coming out of their own 22, like Big Joe now. They've got to going in for the quick play of the ball, not maybe looking for passes like that unless they're 100% on.
Logan Swan, great strength from both he and Joe Vagana. Very skinny 10 metres. The Roosters had never gotten back. It was only about 5. Now Lauatiti gets to the sideline. Hermanson gets up, looking to go on with it as Simon turns Phillips around. Beautifully weighted to the in goal. It's a lone chase from Stacey Jones on Phillips. He gets away from him, back towards Lauatiti, so a pretty good effort from the Warriors after all that pressure. And Tony Iro, tell me something about the chat at half-time that relates to hanging on to the ball.
Yeah, well, similar sentiments from both camps. For the Sydney Roosters, Graham Murray, interestingly, thinks that the Warriors are just holding on. He thinks if they can stick, and it's similar from last week, he thinks if they can stay with them for the next 20 minutes, they'll get this game easy. Mark Ramey just wants John Simon to play plenty of field position, so that just means hitting it up, play football when you're down in their half.
Well, Murray's not going to like that. Let them off the hook again. It's almost a case of who wants to win this one, who wants to put the other away. Mistake after mistake.
Yeah, both teams have been guilty of it, haven't they? Ball security's been atrocious, pushing that pass so early on. You know, you're dead right though, Graham. It's happened last week too. Whoever wants to take charge, and usually it's a key player that does it, but the first team to do it, they're going to run away with it.
Swan for Beverley. Beverley now for Odenryan. And Odenryan, no real space. Handling mistakes against the Roosters. Nigel Vagana. He made a notable mistake with his hands that led to Roosters points in the first 40. Simon to bomb away. That kick is way too deep. So they can't get a good completion on this one, the Roosters. Both sides, Tony Iro, I've got to suggest with this heat this afternoon, showing the pace of the game. Both sets of fours looking extremely tired.
Yeah, it is very muggy down here, and both sides looking for some inspiration. And
this one from Nigel Vagana. Wing just saves it. He was nearly clear. Another ball put down by Fletcher. Now, if somebody wants to nail it, Fafili will finish up on the 10. The game has been a little asleep since the break, but everybody's awake now. Simon right in front of the posts. Mears ducking, weaving, no way through, still in front of the posts. Simon to go wide for Jones, and Jones to go wide for Swan, but the defence was up exceptionally quick. Beverley from dummy half for Jones, and back for Hermanson, who was standing pretty flat. Vagana back for Odenryan, and Odenryan to scoots across the paddock, shouldered down to the ground by Solomona. Mears. Messi play the ball to the in goal, and Phillips is taken back in there.
Well, great stuff there from Robbie Mears. He often goes himself, ducking under, looking to try and scoot under tacklers, but he took a little chip in for himself. Showed a lot of courage here. Thought he was going to get it. Great tackling.
We questioned his play minutes before when he took it on his own to go out of the acting half here. But a great variation in his play. Everyone was predicting him to run it to the line. Good stuff.
It's a good play in the end. Sloppy play of the ball. The ball got away from him, meant he had to go left. He was going to go right. But they get a bonus. Back out for 6 more. Plenty of defence from Mears. And this one out towards Swan. And strongly just gets rid of one. Bounced Rigon out of the way. Joe Wagner from way back takes on Solomona. He's handed back a much better effort to Mark Graham, who gave him a boost of confidence by picking him. Jones! Inside! Herberton! They're back together like the good old days. Wagner takes it up, and Terry Hermanson is going to absolutely love this. Back on the inside from Stacey Jones. 18 apiece.
Yeah, he works hard, doesn't he, Terry? Doesn't get a lot of credit for his work, but if you back up, sometimes it'll work for you. Stacey Jones, absolutely brilliant. Saw the gap, went to the line. Well, Terry juggled it. He'll be happy with that, the big fella.
And the luxury of being able to take the ball to the line. Some lazy inside defence there by Fletcher, just hanging on. But what can you say about the support play of a front row forward?
Who's going to finish off the strongest at Ericsson? The Warriors by 2. Barnett. He'll play a huge role in all of that, and so too will Jones. What a great era it is with Jones putting his great presence on the game of rugby league. Warriors offensively showing that they've got the better of it over that advantage line at least. Joe Wagner just taking a breather, bit of a minor injury, as Fittler knows that he has to find some gaps again for his side. I mentioned those halfbacks, you think about the form of Johns and Kamali. Now this man again needs to hear the... That ball's line ball out wide to Minicello. He puts it on the chalk. Now he's going to check the grounding. I wasn't so sure of the pass out wide. Just had a minor concern on all of that as they rush to that side. And there's the try that we talked about.
Yeah, the touch was in the right position too to see if that pass was forward. But you did right. They've hit straight back. Well, it hasn't even cut the line.
Well, it's got to check. It only has to cut the chalk. Now they do want to also check the pass. There is a call on the pass. The momentum of Lamb, whether he finishes up in front of the ball here, is a big question mark.
No, that's clearly thrown forward, and I think with regards to grounding of the football, quite clearly it looks as though it's been anchored just in front of it.
Well, I'm not so sure. Now there he gets it after the finish. Initial impact, that shot was covered up by Tony Tuamavavi.
Well, this will show it. No, it won't.
Now, does he just roll it forward with his hand?
Yes.
Now that's short. And now he is where I think that he's rolled it across.
Yeah, no try.
Back to the ref's call, and he says it's okay. Well, there is enormous conjecture. My original thinking is that the pass was forward.
That all depends on how far Adrian Lamb went as his momentum took him forward. But from here, it did look as though it was forward, and there was no way he got close to the line.
Just the 2 points. And he strikes it pretty well, just away. There is a 2-point ball game up at Ericsson. Tit for tat right throughout this game, 22-20. It's been a game here in Auckland that has had a high mistake rate from both sides. But you're now going to question the touch of controversy. Massive number of calls gone upstairs. Most of them going back to the referee. He backed himself on this one. But there is huge doubt on it, leaving both sides just 2 points apart. Still a mile of time left in this game for somebody to really dominate. Find their right touch and play for at least the full 20 minutes and not just in bits and pieces.
And the word of caution, we've yet to see Fred Fittler come back into it. We all know his involvement 10-15 minutes coming into the split. 2 tries.
Mears rushes up at him. He kicked inside the 40. Fittler with an unbelievable touch on call. Goes down inside the 20. Mears tried to put the pressure on him. The Roosters, and this is the real challenge now for the Warriors. Sent back down inside their own territory immediately. They've got to come up with the big defence.
Yeah, well, he's a class player, isn't he? He can turn a game, that man. One of the best in Australia. Look at this kick. Just inside the line, and just watch how close it's inside the touchline. Oh.
What made that even better was the pressure that was sitting on him just as he let go.
Wing. Most kicks from the Warriors. Now Fittler knows there's the chance to break their backs. Barnett puts it down. And Beverley brings it away. I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what there is left about the handling from both sides. See you.
Well, a few teams have been let off today, haven't they? Because Sydney City are hot on attack, and just a basic drop. No one putting any pressure on Barnett.
You see it rarely in a game from the big names, but the handling mistakes today mainly have been from test players.
But I also raise a question. We talk about the players looking physically tired. How much of that is due to mental pressure that's sitting on their heads right now? Both sides needing to win. Handling errors 11-5, nearly double. And that's from a football side that's got a huge amount of class in it.
Simon out towards the wing to take on Phillips, and Barnett lost again. Tuamavavi's got it. 6 more tackles, only metres away. Somebody's got to go to the bin this time. Surely to the corner, Beverley. They've got it, they're back, and they're nearly under the posts. Clever thinking. The Roosters get caught napping, and the Warriors grab back the lead. Amazing stuff. And through all of this, you still got to ask yourself, how come somebody's not still headed to the bin?
You're dead right. But look at the little man who started it, Stacey Jones. He took it on his own shoulders, quick tap, out wide. Someone should have been in the bin for that, but they've come up with a try.
He does just that. And again, who wants it? Who wants this one in Auckland? 26-22. Hands in the play of the ball there. Could nearly have gone against the Roosters. Logan Swan wasn't quite expecting it. Heavy shot. Good defence in there from Reuben. Jones. Just looking for the sideline, looking for a breather. Thinking his forwards needed. He tries to slow the game down, still with plenty of time at 11.5 minutes.
And that is a long time.
11 tackles from the little number 7.
Starting short, yep. Starting short, was it?
Good shot from Reuben, who hasn't let anybody down today. Good ball and all, really shortened up Swan.
Okay, mate. Let's bind together.
You know, you talk about how good Stacey Jones is. I mean, just the way that he's been able to just play in this game. It's been at a tremendous pace. It's been hot out there, and he's just lasted the whole game. Unbelievable stuff, because match condition is so hard to get.
We'll be expecting Fittler to really take on the line now, but Tony Iro, I think Sydney fans, Sydney Roosters fans, we're expecting Adrian Lamb to do likewise to help him out.
Yeah, he's been pretty quiet today, Adrian. Yeah, the Sydney City side looks a bit lost at the moment. They're waiting for Freddie to do something. The Warriors just got to keep that line, keep talking, because they're dangerous whenever Freddie or Lammy's got the ball in their hands.
Very wide is Fittler, pushing Lamb way out in the middle of the park for Fletcher. And he's finished off by Joe Wagner. Last tackle, Fittler and Lamb to get together. Fittler just chipping in behind Odin Ryan. Not a good finish for the Roosters. Didn't really have any pressure on the end of that one.
And how crucial was that tackle of Wagner on Fletcher there? He had Fittler on one side, Lamb on the other, looking to support the ball and player in hand, and he just squared him up.
Just caught the side of Fittler's boot. He was trying to put that one into the in goal, in behind Odin Ryan. Whilst the game's been a war of attrition, the ball completion from the Roosters has been pretty horrendous, as opposed to the Warriors, who need that to be spot on as they bring this away. Beetham. Now he called out to Ricketson not to get involved. He was offside, but he did in the end. Wasn't penalised. Mears finds a hole up the middle, and he will still cart them out towards the 50. Such an important play from him as Jones gets away. Pass though is left behind. He goes back, retrieves it. Now he's got the knock on who? Jones looks up, said, I went back and got my own pass.
Yeah, that's a tough call on Stacey there. Just couldn't connect with his...
Well, it's a touch judge's call. Did it roll forward? He dives back. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's a tough call, that.
Well, it's a wrong call. It's not a tough call. It's a wrong call.
It's an unacceptable call.
Spine together. Get in.
Inside the last 9.
The encouraging thing, though, was that they are backing each other up. That's one thing they haven't been doing, and they're doing it with confidence.
Wing had to leap to take that pass from Fittler. Barnett out on the wing, looking a lot less than 100%. Rigon. Great defence. Reuben. Another strong effort from him. And significantly, that led to points right before half-time a couple of times for his team. Lamb back looking for Fittler, charging up the middle behind the play the ball as they try to catch them napping. Wing from broken players, extra dangerous. Defence needs to be spot on. Just the most number of tackles being made. Deeth with a big hit on Adrian Lamb. And Fletcher looks for Fittler, who was not expecting it. And now it needs to be taken. Beverley lets it bounce. He's got trouble getting out of here. Well, the chase wasn't a good one from the Roosters, and Beverley was lost near the post.
He certainly was. He hit the uprights there. He was well gone. The chase wasn't there, but just going back, Jason Deeth put an unbelievable hit on Lamb, and that's great stuff.
Odin Ryan brings it away, and Lamb needed to go quick hands, and Deeth really shortened him up. But we talked about it at the start and mentioned it about Fittler. I don't know that they've put it on Beverley enough with the high ball.
Well, he was given far too much time and space with that ball in hand. And that just maybe reflects on a performance by Sydney City this afternoon, at times lacking the urgency when it's most required. They should have followed that one, put a huge... Beverley should not have got out as Auckland comes up with the mistake that they ill afford.
And that mistake is made by another test man, Jones. So the Roosters camping here for the last few passages. Nothing on the end of it. Now it's getting pretty desperate inside the last 7. Warriors must be tired. They've come up with a lot of tackles in the last few minutes. Lamb still doesn't get in behind the line. Ricketson with the work up the middle. They go back to Lamb. Missing Fletcher, and Wing just manages to hang on to it. He pushes it out for Rigon. The numbers are still there from the Warriors as they mark up. Lamb inside. Fletcher, the big guns are starting to stand up for the Roosters. They're involved in every play. Fittler calls it, and he's got Wing inside. Doesn't go to him. He tried to tell him to hang there. Now it's the last tackle, and Fittler's out of play. Wing to the in goal, off the boot of one, and out wide and through the hands out over the sideline. The Warriors will have a feed, or is it a handover? Warriors scrum feed, and they need just a solid set of six and the best kick they've produced all day out of this.
Yeah, they certainly do. And great defence from the Warriors there. They're put under enormous pressure, but they are defending with urgency. But you're dead right. All they need is that ball security. They need to hit it up 3 and 4 times. We all know it. Let's hope they can do it and get a good kick and chasing.
And play for good field position, but attack that field. Attack the game. Don't allow themselves to go back into the shell and try and protect a 4-point lead. Attack it all the way home.
It has been very hot in Auckland this afternoon. You only need to come to your senses to realise in round 8 there's a test match, a cricket test match, down in Wellington between Australia and New Zealand. So that tells you things are a little bit warm, although it's probably not all that warm in windy Wellington as Mark Graham works hard on the fingernails. Still trying to get out of here. Game is not done with. Crowd are reminding Tony Archer about the 10 metres. There's pressure on him to pull out a big penalty. Mears, marker defence was a question mark, and that's a forward pass. I told you the game's not done with. They'll come back again. But you can certainly argue that you get into situations like this and not too many penalties come for being inside the 10.
Yeah, crucial time, the game. They're in crucial field position now. Joe Wagner was on the outside. He would have just taken it up.
It's a forward pass. Still a bad call from Mears to try and unload in that situation. They've held on and held on with this 4-point lead.
And what also comes to light is a goal kicker in Fitzgibbons, a 77% success rate.
They've got to find the try line first. Wing. Just as well on the inside. Nigel Wagner was there. The Roosters might be thinking this is pretty close to their last-ditch effort. Lamb, it was an awful ball out for him to dive forward. He did well to control it. Solomona hasn't had the impact in this game of recent weeks. The other guy has, though. What a hit from Joe Wagner. Lamb showing it, and does this time try to take the line on. Fittler. One side, they stay with Fletcher for Rigon, and he will finish up, but only 5 away. Last tackle. All but one tackle. Lamb. Solomona's way offside. Way in front of the kicker. Now he was on the ball and involved inside the 10.
You're making the jump. Don't get the jump.
They're going to get the ball back, the Roosters.
Let's stay here. Have a look.
But
Terry,
the kick is, the show, the kick from Lamb has Solomona 3 and 4 steps ahead and playing it, the ball getting involved in the area where the Warriors come back with it. Should be a penalty with no call from either touch judge.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, out wide he was well offside. The referee was right on the spot. I suppose in the only defence was that they had 2 and 3 other players there tackling.
But a far improved kick chase by the Roosters as well, being able to sack Beverley in the end goal area. Coming up with the result they need and could very well be the last play of the game for them.
They need something to give. They need another fumble. And if the Roosters didn't think that the last one was the last throw, then how about this one? Ricketson setting it up, just trying to find the right position. Fletcher on the fringe, taken by Logan Swan. Strong defence. And he does lose it, and that might just about be it.
Wow, great defence there from the Auckland side. They've really scrambled. There's been some big hits put on today, and one more crucial than that. Big rock, Terry Hermanson. Him and Joe Wagner have been great out there.
Exactly, and it was only minutes before that we had Joe Wagner go in with a big one on young Solomona. This time Terry Hermanson, but...
Well, I've got to say that Archer would hear nothing of the swinging arm claim from Adrian Lamb.
Here's the player, he's going down.
Well, I've got to suggest
it could be
that the penalty should have come up for the Roosters.
Yeah, it's a funny game, isn't it? The Warriors would have wanted a much better performance than this today, but it looks like they might just get away with the win, drop balls and everything. But Brian Fletcher's looking pretty sick. I think, I don't want to preempt anything, but I think Terry might have a visit to the judiciary this week.
Should have been a penalty. Handling mistakes, massive against the Roosters. As Lauatidi's out there, they need a big kick. And they've still got to remember that they had a game all parcelled up, all bar the last few seconds against the Newcastle Knights.
I was just about to say, I hope they've learned their lesson. It was a costly one, but I'm sure they have.
Solomona was a long way up in front of the play the ball, which forced Wagner up the middle. Now can Simon somehow get it down to the other end? Pressure on him. Off the side of the boot. You can't think that a mistake like that can be made that's going to put everybody back on the edge of their seat. They should be down the other end, somehow down towards the middle of the park. The Roosters, I'll say it a third time, they get a last chance. Lamb, stepping, Lamb! It's not done with, 60 seconds. Fittler, the man to pull it out of the fire. Fittler with a rush, Solomona. He puts it down and Nigel Wagner's got it. It is simple stuff from the play the ball. He'll stop the clock with 49 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they've certainly put some pressure on in defence, haven't they? And Solomona, how do we look in the Sydney City team? They've all been having a few looks at the defence. Hold on to it, boys.
You drop your catches, you lose test matches. You drop the ball non-stop all day, you lose football games. Miles down to the last 30 seconds. He needs to play it and get on with it. They've still got to stay positive. You can't lull yourself into any false senses. The tackles get eaten up. They've got to look out over the sideline. They've got to keep it out towards the chalk. Joe Buggano's nice and positive. He's been that way all day. This crowd's roaring now. What a difference from last weekend. Odin Ryan. The ball's just got to go dead. That's it. The Warriors, after unbelievable publicity in recent weeks, after unbelievable pressure, the Warriors are back from the dead. The smiles have been long coming for the Warriors. Jones back with a win. What a win in the end, 26-22.